Okay, great, Jaya, great. Yeah, a lot of, I mean, RPA people now they have their own channel and also they are very active in the, their YouTube or their community. Yep, I can see that it's getting more and more. Yeah, let me share my screen. Again, feel free to put into the chat if you have any question throughout the session. Okay, let me just start the session. Welcome everyone. So my name is John. I'm based in Singapore. I'm the pre-sale engineer for UiPath, covering the APJ region. So today's this webinar is basically to talk about the automation for IT operation. So just to give you a brief idea on how the automation can be taking place or implement in the IT operation. We will share some video demo. We will share some so-called the use cases also. But we, due to the time given, we will not go into deep in more detail on how to do it, or just give an overview idea. And if you are interested to know more, we can always set in more another session to give deep dive into the topic that we wanted to discuss. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think today's audience there are quite a lot of them that very experienced with the RPA. But for the benefit of others, I just do a quick introduction about the RPA and do just a quick recap. Yeah. So what is RPA? RPA is stand for Robotic Process Automation. It's basically to automate, or we call it a software robot that automate the repetitive task, the high volume tasks that the human do on their computer. Okay, so whatever you do on your computer, like for example the keyboard action, the mouse action, we can easily ask the RPA, or we so-called robot, to help you to execute. But of course, we need to develop the workflow to ask the robot what are the tasks to execute. Okay, they are, as you can see on the screen itself, there are a few example for that what is the basic functions or basic features that RPA can do. So like log into any application, it can be a Windows application, it can be a Java application, it can be SAP, your ERP system, it can be a SaaS application website. Okay, and you can easily like move file and folder based on your the process need, read and write to the database, grab data from the web. I think this is one of the functions that a lot of people are looking at. So I try to get the report, try to extract the data. Of course, like background process, connect to the API to do some integration, and it can also extract content from document and like PDF image, and it can also apply the OCR technology to extract certain like PDF document, and of course the uh, email. Yeah, so email, Microsoft Office is very strong. I mean, UiPath robot is very strong at these places. And also we can put in our own rule based, where we set some condition to ask the robot what to do and to do a calculation as well. Okay. Again, feel free to put into the chat if you have any query or question. Let me quickly check first because I just want to make sure you can see my screen. I think all people. Okay. Okay. Yep. Hi, Monisha. Yep. So I think all okay. So let me just continue. Okay. So the next is I want to show a quick video on the capability of how robot in action.
With multiple
Just
applications.
to do a quick test, are you able to listen the computer audio? If you yes, then let me know. I try to play first, then you give me a response.
Multiple applications simultaneously. In the
Okay.
next example,
Are you able to hear? I mean, anyone can give me a response. Jaya, probably just now I tried to play the video. Yeah, audible. Okay, good. So I will proceed.
with multiple applications simultaneously. In the next example, our robot will work with 7 applications at once: Excel, Word, PDF, email, SAP, terminals, and Salesforce. The Excel file contains the name, email, SAP number, and an individual code for each person. The robot will first read this data, then open the terminal, input each person's code, and get all the data from the terminal. The emails from the CSV will be input into Salesforce to find every employee, and then the expense data from the terminal will be added into the expense row. After this, the robot will create a Word document from a template with a status report for each person. The Word file will then be converted to PDF and sent as an email attachment. Finally, the robot will find the employee's position in SAP, and with all of the above data, will populate the Excel file used in the beginning. Now, let's start the robot and explain the process in more detail. The robot will start by opening the terminal, Salesforce, and SAP, and by logging into all 3 systems, preparing all the applications it will work with. It will browse the pages of the terminal and find the ID of the first employee. Then identify the same person in Salesforce based on their email address. The expenses are then added in Expense IT, the Word template filled in, converted to PDF, and sent as an email attachment. The robot then finds the position of the person in SAP, then moves on to the second person, looking for the ID in the terminal. After collecting the data, the robot sees that Salesforce does not display an account for Joan, so it creates one. After doing this, it fills the expenses on Joan's account, creates the Word document, converts it to PDF, and sends it as an email attachment. Then the robot moves on to the third person, and so on. Fast forwarding, we can see that all the data is completed in the Excel file for each person, and the emails for each person are sent with a PDF attachment.
Okay, so basically this is the idea on how the robot can in action, we so called. So this is the use case for the
With multiple
okay with the so-called expenses report. Okay, so yeah. So next, we want to go into the today's the main objective, which is to have a, I mean, automation in the IT operation. So we will show a few use cases and also the demo to give you more visibility of what are the items or what are the use case that we can put into the operation IT, especially on the IT. Yeah. Yeah. So when we talk about enabling the IT automation, basically these are the few pillars that we can look at, like service management, infrastructure and operation, application development, the security, and also the data management and reporting. So these are the few is area that we can focus on. But of course, it depends on how's your organization's operation is. So then we need, because different organization they might have different flow or different process to be focused. Okay, so this is just a generic idea on in general what IT automation can be take place in. Yeah. Okay. For example, like in the users management scenario, I think your or your company might face a lot of this kind of requests here. For example, there will be a lot of like onboarding, offboarding kind of process. All these things we can be easily automate using our UiPath automation or RPA. Like for example, every day if there is a request from HR, we want to onboard maybe 20 to 30 users. So easily by setting up all these rules, by getting the input from the HR, we can easily ask the robot to create whatever is necessary. Of course, we need to understand the step by step which are the system, what is the account to be created. Yeah. So this is more on the onboarding and offboarding. Offboarding is to take out the so-called the employee or profile from the system. Yeah. And we can talk about the reset password as well. I believe in the ITSM system, there are a lot of ticketing or change requests that can come from various type of user doing different things. So in order to offload your people to just focus on this one, we can easily ask the robot to help us or to automate this process. And one thing good about the robot is they working 24/7, so they may not need the rest time. So as and when the lead time that get back to user also will be faster. Okay, and yeah, so this is the example. But bear in mind, if you are first implement, I mean, is the early stage. Normally, we were talking about the high volume kind of the use cases, mainly like in the daily basis, there are a lot of transaction and also repetitive. So these are the few examples that we call it like low hanging fruit. So we always target that first. So easy and simple process and high volume. Yeah. So these are the things that we will focus in the beginning normally. Yeah. Yeah. So talking about this robot, but how this robot work? So in UiPath, we have a tools called Studio. It's a designer tools for us to how to say develop the workflow for the robot to execute. Okay, we call it. I will not go into depth on this one. So, but today we will talk about more on the use cases. But we do have another session on the like Studio X, how to build your bot. That one, if you interested, you can register for that. We can walk you through the how to build the bot using the Studio. But just to give you an idea of the studio or the designer tool here is for the developer or the business user use to build their or automate their workflow or process. Okay, we can integrate with a lot of the like what I mentioned earlier. We can almost like every application also we can work with easily. Okay, if the process is using like uh, keyboard and the mouse click, we can easily ask the robot to do it. Okay. And one thing good about our UiPath here, we do have an activity. It's a pre-designed kind of library where you can drag and drop and configure to start to automate your process. Okay. So the designer tool, the main thing that we talking about is we emphasize on the low code and low code kind of the concept for development. So you might not need a lot of the programming knowledge for you to be able to like execute to automate your like simple process. So yeah. Okay. So next I will go into some use cases in IT operation. So the first one will be the IT service ITSM. I think this is a very common use cases. We can unlock or we can reset password. Okay. So just give you an idea. Of course, you can base on your own process or your creativity, how you want the process to be going and how you design it. So this is very flexible. Okay. So
Today we will be utilizing UiPath to unlock a locked user's account using Active Directory. In this case, you can see on the right hand side that I will be taking my account, setting it to locked and disabled, And then we'll be running a UiPath workflow in order to unlock this account. Let's run the script. When it runs, it will be prompting the user, utilizing a form for whether they want to unlock an account or reset a password. In this case, we will unlock the account. I enter my UiPath email account. And once the workflow has concluded, we can see upon refresh of the page that the account has been unlocked. Additionally, an email will be sent to my inbox notifying me that my account has been unlocked. In this second example, we will be going through utilizing the same workflow. In this case, we will be resetting a user's password. Once again, I'll be entering in my email, but selecting the second option, Reset User Password. This will go in utilizing our Active Directory activities to reset the user's password. Upon the successful running of the workflow, the user's password will be reset, and additionally, an email will be sent to the user's inbox notifying them of their new password. And lastly, there will be a forced password reset on the next login.
Okay. I think before I move, okay, I think. Okay, so this is one of the case study that we had from one of the large European bank. So they are having it. Is the IT operation, they are having the similar challenge as well. The challenge is they wanted to improve the service by reduce the response time from the ITSM. So what they do is they automate the workflow, the end-to-end ITSM workflow, including the unlocking the AD account and updated the ticket system. And this is what they achieved. Okay, in less than 4 weeks, they are able to automate this one. Imagine if we wanted to do some I mean, if we never automate it, how many resource we need to put it in, especially the peak time or peak period. And this can be easily automated. For these cases, they automated like 100% of it, and the 0% of error rate. So this is a good case study that what from one of our customer in the banking industry for their department, IT department. Yep. Okay. Before I go into this one, I just wanted to see if there's any question in the chat. Is there any question? Okay, I think no question. But yeah, near merge concept can be easily done also, the template. So yeah. So let me follow on. So the next use cases is more on the server migration in the application management. So I will show you another video on that to give you a better understanding on how this use case can be done. Okay.
Today, we will see an end-to-end showcase of database server migration with UiPath. There are 4 windows open on the screen right now. At the top left is my database server and my virtual machine templates. At the bottom left is my network file share, where the robot will back up data and share it across the servers. At the top right, we see the UiPath workflow. These are the steps the robot is actually performing. And at the bottom right is the orchestrator, which will both trigger the robot and give us the logs sharing step by step what is happening. Today's migration will be performed in 7 steps. First, we'll export the contents of the original database. After that, we'll export the computer name and admin users list from the original server. Afterwards, we'll provision our new server, import our admin users and computer name from the original server to the new one, then join the new server to our Active Directory domain. After that, we'll silently install SQL Server and then import the database backups to the new database. As we see the robot running, you may notice that we don't interact with VMware via the UI. Rather, we are using our IT automation activities, which give us out-of-the-box commands for VMware, such as run program in VM or create VM. Using these activities both speeds up development and allows for the resulting workflows to execute very rapidly. There we go, we're all done. Finished in 10 minutes. Let's log in to the new server. We can see the SQL services are running. All 3 databases were imported successfully. The computer name and domain are correct. And the local admin users are imported. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.
Okay. And with regards to the demo or the video just now, this is one of another case study from our customer. It's one of the large Indian bank. What they're doing is actually doing the server and data migration, as you can see here. And what they can achieve is 92% of reduction in the migration time compared to the manual approach. And we can set what they said is actually 10 robots working in parallel. So this can be scaled up easily if your demand or you got a lot of the requests coming in. So it can be easily increase the number of robots that you can work with it, as long as you got the enough access and setting up. Okay. And also what they got is actually 98% of the reduction in the required stuff. So in this case, yeah, so they give them a lot of the how to say, they enjoy a lot of the, could be ROI, could be the benefit from the automation. So this is a good example that we look at what our customer achieve. Yeah. The next use case will be on the auto scaling solution. It's more on the cloud and infrastructure management. Let me show you the video. We don't have the video for that, but we do have a case study in this case. So this is one of the, I think, another customer, we call it is PwC. What they the process that they automate is the scaling the cloud hosted virtual machine, and what they achieve is the $1 million of the reduction in the infra cost, yeah, and also the labor cost as well. So by using the robot, they can give them a lot of the saving and in cost. Okay. Okay. So far, any question before I go into the heat map of the IT operation? Let me take a look. Yep, no question. Great. Yep. Okay, so let me move on. Okay, this is the overall IT heat map. So this, always bear in mind, this is just a reference for you to kickstart. Of course, when we talk about your own operation, you should know better than anyone else. But this is actually just give you an idea what can be done and in which area you can do it. Okay, for example, like this application management. So these are the darker color one is more more kind of popular use cases you can do. Yeah, like master data management, application request, maintenance. In the procurement, you can have licensing, you can service uh, contract management, PO management, and so on and so forth. Okay. And what we can see now is there are a lot of the end user computing as well, because by looking at what we want to achieve, like for example, we want to give a faster response by the normal SLA could be like maybe 3 days if we are using manual work, but then by automation, maybe we can give them a better support for them so that they will not wait for us, will not chase us also, and they are happy once they raise the request. Probably the next hour or two, they will get a response, then they can continue to work on that. Okay, this is all the possibility that we're looking at, not only the part of we can save code. Okay. Okay, so next I will go into a little bit deeper on each of the area. So in this case, will be more on the application management. We can ask a robot to do patching, to do the inventory configuration, and also we can do some testing here. Okay, we can do some regression testing. So this is very important if you have in-house like developer, which is maintaining your own so-called software or application. This is very important because in the SDLC, the software development lifecycle, actually testing is the one of the most important area that we should focus at, because if anything's go wrong, the user will definitely go back to the our IT team for, yeah. Okay. And we do have a database management as well. Our tool, we can easily get the robot to connect to the any database. So whatever database action that you wanted to do, we can easily do that. Okay. So this is for the application management. Next one wanted to show you is more on the IT procurement. Okay. Same thing is just like from we just like split it out into a different area so that easier for you to give you a guideline where we can do this part and where you wanted to focus. Okay. Of course, asset management is one of the thing. If you see at this one, if it's a darker color here, it's a highest automation potential. Of course, it need to based on your own direction and whether the person that you work with, whether they are willing to work with you to start with the automation. Yeah. Okay. Asset inventory is one thing. Supplier management, as you can see here, the claim receipt is very important here. So we do have some we are not only offering the RPA service, but we do have a full so-called automation platform, which document understanding is one part of it, where you can use the AI ML way to extract the data from maybe unstructured data document or semi-structured document. So receipt is one of them. PO, yes, PO management is one of the area that is very popular. So this is for the procurement, IT procurement. Next will be at the security. Okay, when we wanted to do always the account is very important. So that's why it's a very high potential automation part. Okay, we can control the data access, the cyber security, and last but not least is here we can have the access management. We can control a lot of things, and this one can be easily done by using the robot. Okay, as we can say, we is a 24/7 and easy to scale. So this is something that we can get the idea. Then starting to plan further how we wanted to move on. And when we talk about IT operation, infrastructure is one of the things that we cannot like, miss out. Yeah, we do have a lot of the use case here that we can, that very high potential we can set. Okay, can have the server management here. I think just now we do talk about something like a server migration. So there is one of the good use case. We can do some the deployment and distribution here, reporting, software update, and also the compliant. We can ask the robot to do. And of course, the last but not least here is the DR and also the backup process. Okay, this is the few areas that we can look at. And service management. Yeah, management. Normally, you see there is a lot of the use cases that in the uh, orange color, dark orange. So there's a lot of potential here. Incident management, request management, yeah, problem management, knowledge management, change management, and also the testing, like what we mentioned. We have a module called Test Manager. We can easily help you to uh, integrate. If you have a testing management tools, if you have a DevOps, CI/CD tools, we can easily integrate with it. Once you do the deployment, the regression tests can be automatically kickstart and provide you the outcome. Okay, and we do have reporting modules as well. And of course, here is a continuity service improvement. This is what we can achieve in this area. Yep. The last one will be the more on the end user computing. Okay. Account management. Just now we have some use case in when we talk about the or user management use case. We do have, yeah, a few example. We can easily onboard or offboarding. We can control the account access, the activation, and also delete as well. And also we can support the different type of the support in different level, L1, L2, L3. And last but not least is the self-service. Okay, we can always design a workflow and let the robot, the user, to auto trigger it if they need to do some account reset, unlock. Okay, so this is something that we can move forward to. Yep, ITSM is one common when we talk about the end user computing. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is what we wanted to share for today's session. Let me take a look if there is any question. So again, if you got any question, feel free to put into the chat. Maybe any question so far, guys? Okay, I just saw this one. Oh, Monisha, you are. Oh, okay. So you are very familiar with the. Yes, Robin. Yes, I will send out, but then may not be a full set of that this deck because the of the size the video, probably the video I will take it up and convert into in the PDF and send it back to the participants here, the audience here. Okay. Yeah. So no question. I will move on. Okay. Just two more slide here. Just additional information I want to highlight is okay. So you can also, I mean, go to our UiPath website, go to this URL to talk to explore or to understand about more, to learn more about the IT automation here. Okay. Beside that, UiPath got a lot, a very strong academy, online academy, which is free for you to learn all our products here. So feel free to go in and understand or go and attend to the tutorial or the courses there, which can give you a better understanding or to upgrade yourself in our tools, our UiPath product. Okay. And also these are the links here where we have a document. So it's a very complete set of documentation that you can find for all the UiPath product. And of course, if you're currently you do not have a UiPath so-called license, what you can do is you can do a trial version. You can download, setting up your trial version, and start to experience what the UiPath RPA or UiPath automation platform can help you in your organization. Okay. And last but not least is the contact. So if you got any question, query, feel free to drop us a note. So Tony is my colleague or my boss and myself here. So you can feel free to drop us any issue, or you can contact if you have any like out account executive that you know, so you can contact them, or those that they cover in your region. You can contact them to set up a detailed call if you wanted to have a more understanding about the whole platform, because today we are just focused on the IT operation. Yeah. Okay. I think, yeah. So the next will be the Q&A. Again, if you have any Q&A or question, feel free to put into the chat. Let me go into the chat again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So before I forget, I think we do have because for these 3 months, September, October, and November, actually we do have a campaign for our month, for those that join our webinar or the session, to win the $50 gift card. Okay. Sorry about the noise. Okay. So what you need to do basically is you just tell us which are the session that you join. Okay. For this thing, and then what is your profile here, which industry you from, your company from, and which department, and the problem that you wanted to solve, or how you want to help you to solve. Okay, and then you send it to this email address, okay. And yeah, which is simple. So then there will be a session to draw out the winner. Then we'll give you posted update on that. Yeah. But bear in mind, only those sessions that you attend from this, we call it a virtual event for emerging enterprise. Only those that you attend for the session in this page is on are valid. Okay, else you will be disqualified. Okay. Let me take a look again. Get any question? I think yeah, we are 5 minutes earlier. Any question before we stop the session? And I will. Okay, great, Robin. Yep, I think good, Jaya. Thanks. I think we are good now. Thanks. Yeah, feel free. Don't stop here. Keep on exploring. There's a lot of the potential. There's a lot of opportunity or use case that, yeah, we can automate. But of course, it's a very creative way. So yeah, so this is not a one-to-one. You should do this, you should do that. But it depends on how creative you are, and I believe you can come up with a lot of creative idea that you can implement in your own organization. Okay, I think we are good now. Thanks everyone for attending this session. Okay, don't forget to submit your so-called the participants. Yeah, this one to so that you stand a chance to win the $50 USD. Okay, thanks, and I will follow up and I will send you send out the deck to everyone here. Thank you and bye bye.